We're about to create something truly special, the St. John Eagle stained glass window. What goes into transforming a simple sketch into a stained glass masterpiece? Along the way, we'll explore different stained glass techniques and let you in on some top secret knowledge from our 70-year-old studio. What's the secret to lasting, beautiful stained glass? Spoiler alert, the secret ingredient is glass. Lots of glass. By the end, we'll transform a humble sketch into a fantastic piece of art that will literally light up the church. This window is part of a set of 4, each one dedicated to one of the Gospels. The church pastor selected this theme and we thought it was a perfect fit. But how do we balance the uniqueness of this stained glass while keeping the overall harmony of the church? That's a question we'll answer as we go. Now let's jump into one of the most thrilling parts of this journey, the design stage. Okay. Maybe not jump, we don't want to break any glass, okay? The eagle is one of the 4 living creatures from Revelations and is a powerful symbol within Christian iconography, representing the Evangelist St. John. Due to the nature of his writings and their theological depth, the eagle is linked with the soaring spiritual insight. The eagle represents St. John, and while it's not wearing red, white, and blue, it still knows how to make an impression, just like its American cousin, minus the patriotism. Interpreting St. John in stained glass opens up endless possibilities, whether we go for a lifelike depiction or something more symbolic, like what we're doing here. It's all about capturing the essence. Think of it like trying to make a fancy dessert. You want it to look good and taste heavenly, but thankfully in this case, there are no calories to worry about. The design process begins with simple sketches where we explore different ideas and interpretations. As we refine the concepts, these sketches evolve into an inked-in drawing and finally, a colored design. Every line, every curve is carefully planned, ensuring that when it comes time to craft the window, there's no room for error. This design serves as the roadmap for the entire project, guiding each step from choosing glass to final assembly. We oriented all the evangelists to be looking towards the existing window, the visitation, that was completed by another artist. But you may be asking, how do we integrate these new windows with the older ones without losing the charm of either? We took inspiration from the existing window to select colors for the new stained glass. But we couldn't resist adding our own creative twist, because what's art without a little personal flair, right? This leads us right into our next stage. This is where we select the perfect glass that will bring our design of the Eagle of St. John to life, ensuring that it not only looks stunning, but also integrates seamlessly with the existing stained glass in the church. One of the first things we considered in this stage was the color palette. The Eagle of St. John is a powerful symbol, and its colors need to reflect that. To harmonize with the existing green, blue, and amber glass already in the church, we chose specific shades that would complement these tones. For the eagle's feathers, we opted for a warmer brown. Not too dark of a brown, as darker shades can lose detail when backlit by natural light. The head of the eagle, a significant focal point, was selected in a clear textured glass to emulate white, ensuring it stands out beautifully against the surrounding colors. This careful selection of colors not only preserves the design's integrity, but also ensures that the new window blends seamlessly with the existing stained glass in the space. Another important consideration was how the glass would interact with light. Stained glass is more than just color. It's about how that color plays with the light. For this project, we selected transparent glass. This choice allows the window to diffuse the view outside while letting in ample natural light, ensuring that the interior of the church remains bright and welcoming. Fully opaque glass might have been too heavy, blocking too much light and making the space feel darker than desired, turning the church into a little bit more of a cave. Instead, our transparent glass will create a beautiful interplay of light and color, enhancing the spiritual atmosphere without sacrificing brightness. These were some of the main frameworks behind the color selections that have us all set to go for the next stage. So how do we turn these beautiful pieces of glass into the intricate details of the St. John Eagle? This is where we take our carefully chosen glass and begin shaping it into the intricate pieces that will eventually come together to form the Eagle of St. John. It is time to begin cutting each piece according to the full-size layout we've created. Precision is absolutely essential here, as even the smallest miscut can disrupt the flow of the design. Each piece of glass is carefully scored and then snapped along the score line using specialized tools. The glass cutter, running pliers, and grossing pliers are all vital tools in this process. The glass cutter scores the surface, creating a controlled breakpoint. Then we bring in the running pliers, which kind of sound like they should be part of a fitness routine, but they're actually used to snap the glass along the score line. Grossing pliers can help to refine and smooth the edges. For more complex shapes or tighter curves, we use a glass grinder to achieve the perfect fit. Accuracy is key, so we often cut the glass directly on top of the pattern. This method ensures that each piece follows the exact lines of the design, maintaining the integrity of the overall blueprint. For denser or darker glass where the pattern may be harder to see, we use a light table. This illuminates the glass from beneath, making the lines of the pattern clearly visible and ensuring that every cut is as precise as possible. But even with the right tools and techniques, the glass cutting stage isn't without its challenges. Cutting complex shapes like the intricate feathers of the Eagle of St. John requires a steady hand and careful attention to detail. Some pieces may need to be cut in multiple stages or require additional grinding to fit perfectly into place. There's also the constant need to avoid chipping or cracking, which can happen if the glass isn't scored or handled properly. Despite these challenges, the satisfaction of seeing each piece come together is immensely rewarding. With the glass cutting complete, we are ready to move on to the next stage. Onward and upward, just like our Eagle, only with fewer feathers and a lot more glass. So how do we bring all these pieces together seamlessly? You'll have to see how it comes together in the next step. In this stage, we focus on the delicate art of painting, where every brushstroke contributes to the expression of the final design. Before we dive into the intricate details, we begin with the foundational stage of painting known as line work. Line work is the initial stage of painting any stained glass and serves as the backbone of the entire design. Using a steady hand and a fine brush, the artist carefully outlines the major elements of the pieces. These lines establish structure and boundaries of the image, providing a clear guide for the subsequent layers of paint. Line work is crucial because it sets the tone for the entire piece, ensuring that all elements are precisely defined and proportioned. This is the stage where the Eagle's form really starts to emerge from the glass, laying the groundwork for more detailed work to come. Once the line work is complete, we move on to adding fine details. But how do we transform simple glass into an eagle? Well, the feathers are one of the key components to emulating a photorealistic eagle, so capturing the texture and flow is critical. Each feather is carefully outlined and shaded to give it a three-dimensional appearance, making the eagle look as if it could soar right out the window. The eyes, however, are where the real life of the eagle is captured. The precise detailing of the eagle's eyes is what gives it that piercing gaze. This level of detail ensures that the eagle doesn't just look like a symbol, but feels like a living, breathing presence within the church. So lifelike, you might expect it to blink. It's important to note that most of the color in the stained glass window comes from the glass itself rather than the paint. The brown of the feathers, the white of the head, these colors are inherent to the stained glass we selected. The painting details are really more about enhancing these natural colors through lines and shading, rather than adding new colors. This approach allows the natural beauty of the glass to shine through while still providing the necessary detail to bring the eagle to life. But how do we make sure the paint fuses perfectly without any issues? Once each layer is complete, the glass must be fired in a kiln to permanently bond the paint to the glass. Firing is a critical step because it sets the paint permanently. The glass is heated to a specific temperature, high enough to fuse the paint without distorting the glass itself. This process ensures that the painted details are not only vibrant, but also durable, capable of withstanding the test of time. After firing, the glass emerges with a rich, permanent finish, ready to be assembled into the final stained glass window. The first step in the assembly process is selecting the right lead cane. Lead cane is the material that holds the individual pieces of glass together, forming the skeleton of the stained glass window. The thickness and profile of the lead cane are critical choices. They affect the structural integrity and the overall aesthetic of the window. Wider profile caning can add a sense of boldness and strength to the design, while thinner caning allows for more delicate detailing, particularly around intricate elements like the eagle's feathers or beak. Once the appropriate lead cane is selected, we'll grab our tools and begin the careful process of fitting each glass piece into the cane by hand. This requires precision to ensure that each piece fits snugly without gaps, maintaining the tight, cohesive structure of the design. The lead cane must be carefully shaped around the curves and angles of the glass, especially in areas with intricate details. For example, fitting the lead cane around the eagle's feathers requires careful attention to avoid obscuring the delicate lines while still providing the necessary support. With all the glass pieces fitted into the lead cane, the next step is to solder the joints where the lead canes intersect. Soldering is crucial for securing the structure of the window, ensuring that each joint is strong and stable. A smooth, even solder joint is not just a matter of strength. It also contributes to the overall appearance of the window, as any bumps or unevenness can detract from the clean lines of the design. And with that, the assembly portion is complete. We've transformed individual pieces of glass and lead into a beautiful unified work of art. It's a bit like watching the congregation come together on a Sunday, each member unique, yet part of a greater whole. Now, on to the next stage. It's time to get our hands dirty as we dive into the stained glass putty application. If you thought making a mess was just for kids, think again. The purpose of the putty is to seal the gaps between the lead cane and the glass, which serves two important functions. First, it stabilizes the entire window by creating a tight bond that holds each piece of glass firmly in place. The stability is crucial for maintaining the integrity of the design over time. Second, as the putty acts as a weatherproofing agent, protecting the window from moisture and temperature fluctuations that could cause damage over the years. By filling in the gaps, the putty helps to prevent water infiltration and drafts, ensuring the window remains secure and durable. Achieving the right consistency for the putty is essential to its effectiveness. If the putty is too thick, it becomes difficult to apply and may not fill the gaps properly, leaving the window vulnerable to leaks and instability. On the other hand, if the putty is too thin, it won't provide the necessary support to hold the glass securely in place, and you'll end up with a mess that even your dog would want to play in. We carefully mix the putty to achieve a consistency that is firm yet pliable, allowing it to be worked into the gaps easily while providing a strong, lasting bond. Once the putty has been applied and worked into the gaps, the next step is to remove any excess material. This is a delicate process as it's important to clean away the putty from the surface of the glass and the lead cane without disturbing the bond that has been created. We normally use picks and brushes to carefully scrape away the excess putty, leaving a clean, professional finish that enhances the overall appearance of the stained glass window. This step is crucial not only for aesthetics, but also for ensuring that the putty remains securely in place to perform its weatherproofing function. For all our stained glass windows, additional structural support is used to prevent sagging or bowing over time. This is where reinforcement bars or rebars come into play. These galvanized steel flat bars are installed across the window to distribute the weight of the glass evenly, and to provide extra stability. Without these reinforcement bars, the window could become vulnerable to damage, especially in larger installations where the weight of the glass is significant. One of the challenges of using reinforcement bars is ensuring that they don't detract from the visual appeal of the stained glass window. We want the art to speak for itself, not have anyone asking, "What's that metal thing doing there?" To address this, we use techniques to hide the reinforcement bars within the design itself. This normally involves placing the bars along the lines of the lead cane or integrating them into the design element so that they become part of the artwork rather than a distraction. By carefully planning the placement of the reinforcement bars, we can maintain the structural integrity of the window without compromising its beauty. The windows are essentially done at this point, and we are ready for what is in store next. After all the meticulous work of designing, cutting, painting, assembling, and applying the stained glass putty, we finally reach the installation stage, the moment where everything comes together. This stage requires just as much care and precision as the earlier steps to ensure that the stained glass window is securely and beautifully installed in its new home. We carefully pack the stained glass in a specially prepared trailer for the trip to the church. The window is packed and cushioned to protect it from any bumps or vibrations during the transport, ensuring it arrives in perfect condition. Because nothing says critical error like discovering your stained glass has arrived in pieces. literally. We recommend installing the stained glass as part of a double glazed framing system. The glazing does sort of sound like it's related to a donut, double glazing chocolate and sugar, but it's not. Such systems allow the installation of the stained glass on the interior side of the church with a separate exterior glass for protection on the exterior side. This option is particularly beneficial in areas with harsh weather conditions, high vandalism areas, or just to protect your treasured stained glass in case that one kid from Sunday school decides to see how far he can hit a baseball. In this case, we ripped out the old rusty frames and installed low to no maintenance aluminum window frames. With everything done, let's check out the finished product. Creating a stained glass window is truly a labor of love. Each piece of glass is carefully selected, cut, painted, and assembled by skilled artisans who have spent years honing their craft. It's not just about making something beautiful, it's about creating a work of art that will stand the test of time, inspiring and uplifting all who see it for generations to come. This project, like all others, has been a journey of creativity and passion. If you are looking to have a stained glass window made for your church, check out my stained glass guide. We go over tons of useful information from design principles, common themes and motifs, and much more. Click right here and I will send you your own free copy. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll also enjoy this one where we created a St. Luke winged ox stained glass. Don't forget to subscribe for more beautiful stained glass window projects. Goodbye!